So in looking for a story for tonight, I was looking for a story that was reflective both of Shabbat and also of the upcoming holiday of Hanukkah. For I saw a meme which I've carried with me these past many days, which is, don't ask us when Hanukkah is coming. Be an ally. Do your own research. And then tell us, because we have no idea. By the way, it's coming up a week from Sunday, in case you were wondering. This story is the empty fork. It is said that every Friday on the eve of Shabbat, 2 angels visit Jewish homes and peek through the kitchen windows. If they see Shabbat candles lit and the table set with good food and wine, then the first angel, the kind one, exclaims, "May it be God's will that the next Shabbat is the same." The second angel, a cranky sort and a bit of a troublemaker, is forced to say, "Amen." If, on the other hand, they approach a Jewish home and find it dark, without food or wine of any kind of Shabbat delight, then the disagreeable angel gloats, "You see, they have forgotten. They have forgotten the Sabbath." Then he makes the blessing, "May it be God's will that the next Shabbat be the same." When he says those words, they sound more like a curse. Anyway, the kind angel is forced to respond, "Amen." On this particular Friday evening, the cranky angel was feeling very confident. "I believe that's 34 homes so far and not a single candle lit. Am I right?" Now, the kind angel answered, "Don't be so quick to judge them. After all, the law here in Russia won't let them practice Judaism. The Tsar has forbidden it." Still peering inside the next house, the kind angel hoped beyond hope that this house would prove him wrong. But the tiny room was indeed cold and dark, and an old woman sat alone at a table that was completely bare except for an empty plate and a fork. By now, the cranky angel was already saying his blessing, while the kind one just shook his head sadly and whispered, "Amen." But something kept him from leaving the window. Perhaps it was the peaceful look on the woman's face. Her skin was milky white, and though it showed the proof of her years, it glowed somehow. There was a faint smile on her lips, and in her eyes was a reflection of candlelight, although there was no candle burning. The cranky angel called impatiently, "Come on, there's nothing there. Let's finish our rounds." But the kind angel could not forget about this old woman. A few days later, he returned alone. Once again, there was quiet. The fire was in the hearth had burned down, and only a crust of bread and a glass of tea sat on the table, yet the woman looked completely content. He knew he was breaking the rules, but the kind angel flew into the house and stood closely by the old woman. In her left hand, she grasped a pen, but she was not writing. Instead, she rested it on her shoulder, and her fingers moved up and down in a quick rhythm. Her foot tapped on the floor, and her head nodded along. Suddenly, the kind angel realized he was hearing a violin playing, although there was no instrument in sight. The old woman nudged her chair towards the hearth. Although only glowing ashes remained, the angel was quite sure he felt the warmth of a roaring fire. Although neither of them spoke, he was surrounded by the noise and laughter of a house full of people. And although they were quite alone, he heard someone calling her name in a sweet voice, "Natasha, it's time to eat." She moved her chair back to the table, put down her pen, took the crust of bread in her hand, and said a blessing over it. The kind angel was no longer surprised when the room filled with the scent of roasted chicken and soup. I'm coming, he heard her answer, although the old woman's lips did not move. "But I first must do one more thing." Then the angel heard the rattle of coins dropping into an unseen tzedakah box. The next Friday was also the first night of Hanukkah. The kind angel was even sadder than usual as he visited the Jewish homes. For each house he blessed, his cranky friend got to bless 100. Then they arrived at the home of the old woman. "Come inside with me," the kind angel said. "It's early, and besides, what have you got to lose?" "It's against the rules," said the cranky angel. "And besides, what have you got to gain?" He looked through the window and saw no Shabbat candles, no Chanukiah, no latkes, no sufganiyot, no brisket, just an old woman sitting by herself at the table. It's the same as all the others. What are you hoping for? New? A miracle? Maybe so, the kind angel said, pulling his partner along beside him, and they entered the house. So what are we waiting for? The cranky angel demanded. It's still cold and dark in here. Let's go. Shh. The kind angel whispered back, just watch. The old woman closed her eyes and raised her empty fork to her lips. Then her voice shattered the quiet. The woman exclaimed, ah, ochen v'kusno, delicious. The kind angel's eyes closed. He felt the thump of feet dancing to Hanukkah songs. He heard an old man's voice telling the story of the Maccabees. He saw lots and lots of candles and shiny coins and dreidels. He smelled fried onions and potatoes, and when he opened his eyes, he could still taste the latkes. You're right, the kind angel said. They are delicious. But the old woman didn't hear him. She just rose from her seat and went to lie down on her little bed, wrapped up warmly in her memories. As the two angels turned to leave, the cranky one looked back and shrugged. That fork was empty, you know, he said. Maybe so, answered the kind angel, but I could tell that you tasted those latkes too. Admit it. And besides, is the mitzvah just to eat greasy food? No, the mitzvah is to remember the miracle of the holiday. And I say that she remembered. The Tsar's rule won't last forever, but her memories and good deeds will. And so the kind angel said his blessing, and the cranky angel reluctantly answered, Amen. As the story reminds us, even when we live in troubled times, even when we might be fearful to publicly celebrate our heritage, our tradition, the beauties and customs and rituals of Judaism, may we be reminded and inspired by this story, whether it's quietly with ourselves, whether it's with family and friends, whether it's more openly to proclaim to the world, we are not afraid and we are proud as Jews. However we choose to celebrate and observe, may this Shabbat be like the next Shabbat, where the kindly angel blesses us and the cranky angel is forced to say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom.